Hey guys. Okay, this is a remote viewing missing people. I remote view kids because my innocence just can't stand it when a kid goes missing. So this all started back in the 90s. 90, no, actually 2000. Yeah, I got back from Vancouver 2000 to Windsor. Met a new friend. We're all into this remote viewing and stuff like that. So we started remote viewing. I was the best at it, like stupid, but we didn't know it. But I remote viewed and did a whole bunch of cool stuff on Mars and the moon and stuff like that. And I was telling him about it, and he goes, "Well, do remote viewing on missing kids." And so I said, "Okay, we'll see what happens." And, just like test runs. So what we do is we watch the news on CNN or something, and a missing kid will come up. So he had a pad and paper. And I go, this is just test. No calling the police and everything, okay? We're just testing it. So what he had was pad and paper, and he'd write down all the details I'd see. So I'd be in the coffee shop, and I'd meditate, check out. In the coffee shop, noise all around. I'm just sitting at the table, my eyes closed, hands on the table, and I just check out. Which means I let my ego go, bring my heart and my soul, my innocence to my head, my inner light to my head, my innocence to my head. And then the person was last seen in such and such a place, and I'd will myself to that place. And I'd get the person's name, and I'd will myself to the person's name. And I'd hook up to the person spiritually. I'd reach out to the person, touch their skin, and then go there. And I'd see what was going on. And I could tell if the person was dead or alive. And I'd write it down. Then, a couple days later, there'd be, actually, the next day after that, every day there was updates and reports on the person missing. So, we would check every day to see, and then they'd find the person, dead or alive, just like I said, and then we moved on to the next person, and the next person, and it always changed. Like, we didn't know if the person was alive, day 1, day 2, the person was alive, day 3, day 4, still missing. I would continuously see it, until the person died. And then I would see them dead. And so, you know what I mean? And the reason I'm saying this is because it's very important. So you go there maybe twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, to see how the person's doing, what's going on. And that's what we did. And then we kept doing that until results came back on the news explaining what happened. They found the person, or the person died and they found him. Then we checked back on the notes and locations and details that I saw, and it was dead on, man. Dead on. So dead on, my buddy said, we gotta call the cops because you can save these people. And I'm like, yeah, well, you do that, I ain't talking to cops. I already don't like authority, period. I feel like I don't like it. There's parts of it I like, there's parts of it I don't like. And I just don't like dealing with, I'm a free spirit. Any controllers control me, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to see something, and it's going to blow out of proportion, and so I'm afraid of that. Already, that's a fear. I got to let that go. But it's going to happen. They're going to know, how do you know? How do you know this? How do you know? And I'll be sitting in a room with a light in my face, and they're punching me. Good cop, bad cop, all that bullshit. Because police are in the physical. This don't matter. Spirit world don't matter. It don't exist. So I had something to do with it, period. And that's the way, unfortunately, the rest of the world is. That's in my head. I can walk up to a cop, hook up to him. When a cop pulls me over and he's giving me shit, give me your license and driver's license. I look him in the eyes. I can give him a read right there. Oh yeah, your wife's at home screwing your buddy. Oh yeah. Yeah, your kid's doing smoking pot. Yeah, you got 2 kids, you got a wife, you got a car, you don't like this, you know what I'm saying? I can do that. I can read his aura. Oh, you got a tumor there. You got a tumor in your stomach. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then I can go into his inhibitions. Then I can go into his fears. I can give him a whole read. I'll probably get killed. Gotta watch what you say. You understand? I don't know how to play the game. Truth is the truth. I don't know how to play the game, the virus, the illusion, the bullshit reality game. I'm no good at it. And there's some things you can fight and there's some things you can't. And I ain't willing myself into police custody just because my innocence goes out and finds a missing person. So we gotta take that into consideration. So that's my problem. That is my problem. So first case was that's what I was doing. And I was dead accurate. My buddy, he started wanting to phone the police and telling them, and I said, okay, but I want a cop on our side that knows what we're doing. And he goes, okay, I know a cop, and we'll get him. So he goes out, gets this cop, tells him everything we're going to be doing, and so any police forces in the world have a problem with me doing this, want to know, we give him his number, he'll back us up. All right, and then they can run his name and check it out, and that's what they like to do, run names and stuff. So, fine, that's what we're gonna do. And I met the cop. So, before we started doing any of this, phoning the police. So, just then, my buddy, his son, he's separated from his wife. The wife got the kids. My buddy, his son, got hit by a car and is in a hospital, a child's hospital in Detroit. So he's gone all the time. So he comes back. The kids got problems. They don't know what's wrong with him. He has seizures. So it's like a few days go by and the kid starts having seizures. They don't know what's wrong. But literally, they don't know what's wrong. They're doing all these fancy tests, all these things. They don't know what's wrong. He calls me up and says, remote view his kid to find out if there's anything I can find out that the hospital can't find. And I'm like, okay. And so I hooked up to his son. I crossed out. Now this is a case I'm going to give you. What happened, what I saw, and what helped the kid out. So I hook up. They don't know what's wrong with him. They heal him up. They got him all good. He's conscious. He's healing, laying in bed, drinking, playing, having a good time. But he starts having these seizures. They don't know what's wrong. They can't find what's wrong. Something like that. I remember my buddy was really adamant. They can't find what's wrong with him. With their x-rays and everything and all that. They did everything to this kid. Couldn't find out what was wrong. Okay, so I check out. I chant his name. I spiritually travel to him. That's important. I spiritually travel to him. I reach out to the kid, touch his skin, up and down until I get the skin. Then I touch his inner light. Now, the kid was laying in the bed, passed out, sleeping. I could tell that right away. And all of a sudden, whoa, he's playing with me. The kid's spirit and innocence is playing with me. I'm going, hey buddy, how you doing? He's like, I'm okay. And we're talking, we're having a good time. I'm going, hey, I go, you're in a bad car accident, eh? He goes, yeah, it hurts. I'm like, I know, buddy. And I'm talking to him. I'm talking to his soul and his spirit. And I'm going, something's wrong with you, and they can't find out what's wrong with you. I go, your dad wants me, for you to tell me what's wrong. And he goes, okay. I go, where does it hurt? And he goes, my leg. He goes, my leg, and my right here, and my arm. And he goes, my head, right here. It's right here. And I go, okay. And I go, anything else you gotta tell me? And he's like, no. And he's playing with toys, right? And we're talking. And on a soul level, his soul's talking to me. And he's like totally innocent. I'm totally innocent. I'm playing with him. I'm just talking to him and I'm asking him questions. So I got him in the drama, right? I got him in the drama, but we're playing. We're two innocent kids playing. I'm going, where's the hurt, man? Where's the hurt? And I mentioned his dad, so he knew it was going to be okay. And I'm talking to him with innocence and light, so he knows he's not frightened by it. And so I came, and then I go, can I check your head? Can I check your head? See what's wrong with your head? He goes, okay. So he turns his head like that, and I look at his head, and I see the bone. I just automatically, boom, I've seen his head, and I see the bone. And there's a hairline crack in his skull. Oh, I go, oh, I see that. That hurts, eh? And he goes, we'll get it fixed up right away. He's like, okay. And stuff like that. And I seen the hairline crack. And I could see his brain. And it was going, like, with his heartbeat in this one area. And I go, okay. I go, maybe I'll be back later. I'll talk to you later, okay? He's like, okay, bye. And so, and that's exactly what I was like. This little kid, man, this little kid. And so I came back, called my buddy on the phone, and I said, so I was talking to him, and he's telling me, and he's freaking out. Like, this is his kid, right? He's freaking all the time. And he goes, okay, I saw it. He's hurting on his leg, he's hurting on his ribs, he's hurting on his arm, and on his head, the right side of his head, his left, my right. Anyway, I got it right anyway. I go, he has a hairline fracture, and his brain is going, seems to be, but pumping with his heartbeat, hitting the bone or something like that. And he goes, thanks, man. He hangs up the phone and he runs, and I don't know. He calls me back hours later, so I just, whatever. Turns out, he calls me back, he goes, he went and told the nurse, he goes, I have a friend that's spiritual and he can do remote viewing. He said, and he told the nurse this, or the doctor or whatever. He goes, he saw a hairline fracture on his skull, and his brain looks like a heart beating against the brain, and that's what he told the doctor. So the doctor said, holy fuck. So he they never saw the hairline fracture in their initial scans or whatever, x-rays. They rushed him in, and the kid was having seizures, but they couldn't figure out what was wrong. So they rushed him back in there. They did a detailed scan on his head or x-ray or whatever, and they found the crack in his skull. They cut his brain, they cut the bone to release pressure, I guess, in the brain, to release pressure, or took out blood, or whatever the hell they do. And basically that was it. They did all the work. His seizures stopped. He calls me back. I'm flipped out at this point. I go, what happened? He goes, dude, I want to thank you. Fucking thank you, bless you, thank you. And he goes, you freaked out the whole hospital. And he goes, they were searching for days trying to find out why he started having seizures when he's supposed to be all healed up. And he's recuperating. All of a sudden he starts having seizures. He goes, they couldn't find anything wrong, anything. And he goes, as soon as you said the hairline fracture in his skull, they did a detailed thing, whatever that was, I don't know, doctor stuff, and they found the hairline fracture. And I'm like, whoa, really? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, they found that he had minor swelling in the brain where he got hit by the car. And so they drilled and all that stuff, released the pressure or whatever they do, and the seizures quit, and now he's healing up. They just had to release the pressure in his brain, but they never caught it in the x-rays or whatever they do. And I'm like, holy shit. He goes, dude, you saved my kid's life. You have no fucking idea what that means. He's crying, he's freaking out, and I'm like, calm down, man. My heart's, I'm crying, I'm freaking out, and I'm getting tingles, and I'm like, whoa, man, you freaked me out. And he goes, well, I'm going to come back tomorrow and we'll talk. So he comes back from the hospital and he's hanging out with me, and he's telling me all this, telling me that the doctors were just like floored, can't fucking believe it, and that a remote viewer found the problem where they couldn't. And they were all grateful. They're like, wow, but they, it's all hush hush. And I go, I just saw what I saw, but I go, what really blew my mind was I was talking to your son's soul, and he's playing with a toy, and he's talking to me. I go, where does it hurt? I told him exactly what I told you here, about how this, and he pointed out where he was hurting, and he fucking tears just running out his eyes, and I'm like, and then he told me, your son told me where it was hurting, and then I went and looked at his skull, and I could see a little line, like, through his skull. I don't think that's supposed to be there, right where he's pointing. So then I told you the rest of the history. So after that, sold. He was sold, man. And then we started working on Missing Kids, and I was doing side projects as well. And so that freaked me out, like real time stuff, man, life and death stuff, right, real time, and I got it dead on, blew me away, scared me, my abilities scared me, but I didn't. I just let God. I just let myself do it. No inhibitions, no nothing, no fear, no nothing, no assumptions in the remote viewing. I just went, hooked up to his soul, and the thing is, you gotta will yourself to the person. I reached out with my soul hands, touched his skin up and down until I got to physical, where I could feel the meat of his essence, of his skin essence. Hooked up to his soul, his inner light, his innocence, and my innocence. And then all of a sudden he popped out, and we're playing with toys. And I started asking him questions. And that's how it worked. Then, when I got the information from his soul that his head hurt, I checked out of that. I checked out of that play we were playing, and I checked out and I looked at his head. And spiritually, I could see the crack. And it was like his whole head. And then I zoomed in. It just happened. I just zoomed in. And I'm looking like damn near at the cells of the skull, and there's a line going through his head right where he pointed, and it's like my soul or his soul took me there to see it. Either way, I consciously checked out his skull, and I'm totally laying or sitting in a coffee shop seeing this. That's what happened. And these are the details you learn from remote viewing, practicing remote viewing. And this goes all the way back to where you had to start massaging your toes, from your toes to your head in meditation, until you cross over, until your soul, your innocence, your inner light in your soul breaks your ego to where you see from the soul. You got to bring that, and you have to have that focus to stay with it, so you don't drift off into fantasy la la land. You got to be conscious here, but seeing from here. So you bring your heart to your head and see from there. All the way back to my first remote viewing video, where I tell you how to meditate and consciously in your brain massage your toes to your head. That's important. That's the training you need to do this shit. And then I take you through the steps. Granted, I swear like a drunken logger through the whole thing, but it's the reality. It's just the way it is, okay? But this is what you got to do. That focus, that training that I put myself through, just because the will to do it, the will to learn this stuff. I wanted to learn it. The book said, massage your toes all the way to your head, and keep doing it while you're meditating. Don't do nothing but that, and you're going to see, because you're aligned in yourself, all the little side effects that are going to happen. all the things that are going to happen, but you're focused on one thing, your toes, as you're relaxing. He said, sooner or later, something's going to happen. It's going to change your life forever. I take you through the steps. So go to this playlist, watch every video, and you'll be able to do this stuff. This is just one video I'm making right now of this case, how I got started into remote viewing missing kids. I'm going to take you through all the little steps, all the cases that I can remember to the best of my ability. Even I'm not using any names for reasons. You're just going to have to trust me, all right? And I'm going to tell you why I quit doing it. I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you everything. But I ain't going to tell you why I quit doing it. So if I post this and they go, well, why did you quit? Blah, 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 blah. You can say people, oh yeah, you know what? There's $90,000 on the missing kid. There's an incentive. You find the kid, you direct the police to the body, $90,000 yours. Me and my buddy, we said, okay, let's do this the rest of our lives. We find the kids, collect the money, donate it to Save the Kids, wherever, happy place, hospitals, feed the kids. We take a chunk just to get around to go to these places and do this stuff. We take a little bit, donate the rest. We'll do this the rest of our lives. Who gives a shit? And no fame, no fortune, no nothing. Just me and you doing this. He's like, right on, let's do it. And I'm like, good. We can't be greedy, but we gotta live. Okay, I had a full-time job, but it's minimum wage, right? I'm living in a fucking basement full of fucking spiders and ants and water, black mold, and this is how I'm living. I still got no goddamn money. So you gotta have money, and you need police backup that know you personally. I'm gonna get into all this shit at the end of these cases, but right now I'm just focusing on the cases. And keep watching the videos, subscribe, so you know all this stuff's coming at the end. But I got like 20 cases, 20 things. They're gonna blow your mind. There's gonna be part 1 and part 2s. But these are experiences that I had that show you what you can do. And I'm trying to train other people to do this, to go do it. To me, it's fucking easy. It's nothing. It's the shit that comes afterwards. I can't deal with it. It'll kill you, man. Kill you. And your innocence just wants to go do it. Save the kids, save the kids. But there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that'll get you killed. Get you dead with a bullet. Alright? I'm fucking telling you, man. Hang in there. Right now I'm just giving you my experiences of remote viewing cases of missing kids. But this stuff will get you killed. And I'm not talking spiritually, I mean physically. Physically. Alright? Okay, this is video number 1 of remote viewing missing kids.